shipped away in Adrian Martinez, right? That's slim. You're going to have to conform your offense, your game plan to this quarterback, and this quarterback and all those guys on that offensive side of the ball are going to have to buy in this season. And that's one thing, right, is that this coaching staff has to relay that message that there is no choice.
Yeah.
You're either bought in or we're going to do this thing without you.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked up by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Monday morning. Thank you guys for joining us. You know the deal, 402-464-5685. If you want to jump on the Starter Heyman text line or you want to call in to the Honda Lincoln hotline. Remember the live video stream, Starter Heyman video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Get to it. Jay Foreman.
Dang, did you see Bleacher Report?
No.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, this is Black Monday, right? It's messed up that they name it Black Monday. It could be just coming at brothers any old type of way. I'm just kidding. But dang, the Vikings, Ziggy Wilf, then he said he went in there and said, not only am I firing the head coach, I'm getting the GM too.
Well, I mean,
which rightfully so, in a lot of ways.
But I mean, were they awful?
They weren't awful, but they weren't. They were at times very bad. Considering you have one of the highest paid quarterbacks with guaranteed money, and you jumped out there twice, not once, but twice, and gave him that type of money.
But we know that Kirk's a coach killer,
right? That's why. But so that's where the GM, if I'm Ziggy and you're Rick, somehow, some way, when we don't make the playoffs and it looks bad just from a clock management game plan type of deal, then I gotta really come see you. And then when it comes down to the coach, I'm telling you that not every coach, but a lot of the coaches write their there's always a quote that's their obituary, right? That just kind of rings with
here's the moment.
It's like when Bo was here, somebody asked him, do you think, do you kind of plan for the future? He's like, no. Well, you can't be a head coach and not think about, how you're going to continue to build your program to get better, right? When they ask Mike, if I'm a GM or if I'm the GM, if I'm the Ziggy Wilf, and you tell me that you don't want to put Kellen Mond in the game because essentially it sounded like it was personal.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, because me and you texted about it, right? Or we talked about it on air. That was it.
Yeah.
And there's things that led up to it, but that just will push me over. That lets me know you were okay with drafting this kid, right? There had to be something for you to draft him. What do you go, second round, third round?
And for them not to be on the same page.
Not even on the same page
again.
And you ain't even you had to, the quarterback's there's gonna get hurt all year. So you're trying to tell me that you just drafted this kid and you don't want to see what you got in him, and we're not even in the playoffs? That's what you're telling me? Talking about, I see him every week. No, what you just told him is that you haven't even worked with this kid to get him better. And what type of confidence you're giving somebody that you gave an investment? Now, that doesn't mean that he's going to take Kirk Cousins' spot, but what it means is you're not developing the whole roster. And it can't just be Kellen Mond. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. He was third round.
Yeah.
Which is a purposeful pick.
Right. That's not just that's not just a we'll just pick a guy because we need a guy to just, throw during minicamp. So I could see it. Plus Spielman is the one, all the way back, and
But do they? So they go through this. If
He
you're going to
drafted
fire
Christian Ponder too. You
if
know
you're
that.
going to, yeah, if you're going to, yeah, which
And we gave Kirk Cousins, and they gave Kirk Cousins a numerous amount of money.
So if you're going to fire the GM,
Leave
the
Christian
head coach,
Ponder out of this.
what do you do? No, Christian Ponder's in the middle of this, dead square in the middle of this. Where does this leave Kirk Cousins?
Well, I'm sure he's in a good spot because he's got money guaranteed. So I'm sure that's going to be question number one. If I'm the owner and I'm interviewing a GM, I'm assuming that they're going to hire the GM before they hire the coach.
Well, we've had that discussion. That doesn't.
It does not work when you hire the coach first and the GM, unless it's like Bill Belichick, right?
We've been talking about this, Jay. Like this is not.
It's not a foregone conclusion. It won't happen.
Right.
But let's just give Ziggy Will from the Will family benefit of the doubt that they're going to hire the GM, and the GM, then they can kind of start off right. That would be number one. That's ain't no different than I'm assuming Chicago's going to make a move with theirs too. Like if
Matt Nagy's been fired.
Oh, well, there you go. So I would be thinking if I'm an owner.
So let's do this. What's the list of teams that will probably fire their quarterbacks, their coaches today?
Well, we already got two.
So we got Minnesota, Chicago.
Just the NFC North minus Green Bay.
Joe Judge is in the meeting room now as we speak.
Detroit's not firing their
No.
Carolina.
They should, but they won't.
They said they were holding on to him.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
Carolina might be like a late surprise next week.
Like something pops up. And they're like
somebody else gets fired, and it'll be like, dude, we know you garbage, so we're gonna go with the known product. I don't think as of right now, I don't think he gets fired. Atlanta coach, the Seahawks.
They said that Pete Carroll's safe, but it's either Pete Carroll or Russell Wilson. Yeah. One of them has to go.
I don't know that it's not both.
Well, yeah,
I think Russell,
it could be both, but I know one of them has to go.
Well, Russell, I think
Russell
wants to go. I think Pete.
But where does Russell want to go?
But they'd have to trade him. He can't. He's not a free agent.
No. But look, if this thing's gonna end, Seattle can't get rid of their icon and then not work with him
to go. Because he probably hasn't no trade clause. I don't know. I think a lot of the dominoes with Russell.
Look, see if he has.
It's depending on what happens with Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
I mean, so it's like one of those things where the dominoes are going to fall.
What did the Texans do?
They got to trade him. I mean, dude, you just paid this dude $30 million to sit at the crib.
Who's going to coach them next year?
Well, I was just about to get that one. I was just about to get down. I mean, hey, DP, we only worked the NFC. You got to let me get to the other ones now. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we give us a couple times. We got another 45 seconds. The Texans, it's a lot like Matt Rule, right? It's a lot like Matt Rule,
right?
Whereas they're saying they're going to bring him back, and they've said it like it's almost like when the GMs would give you the vote of confidence, and then you fight. Oh, all right, after we reevaluated, we went to the steak dinner with some of the boosters. They always say it in college, and they say he's let go. Those two guys, one of them is going to get fired. And I hate it for Cully because the situation with Deshaun Watson was messed up before they hired him. So, and again, and even with Matt Rule, even though Matt Rule made these decisions at quarterback, you don't have a quarterback in the NFL. You have no chance. So those two, I'd be very surprised if we're talking in March that they still have a job. One of them is going to be gone. Pete Carroll, I think, is going to talk and see if he can coach under the right circumstances. He doesn't want to do a rebuild, so he wants to try to figure out a way probably to move Russell, accumulate a decent quarterback and try to be back in the playoffs, right? But then also you got to think Bobby Wagner's in the last year of his contract. That's the only guy on defense with a heartbeat and a pulse, and he is.
Well, no, I mean the guy next to him led the league in tackles.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner and who else? I mean, Bobby Wagner is Russell Wilson on the defense. He's been there long, right?
True.
Not a heartbeat in the pulse, but what I mean is, it's Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner's an icon up there.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the faces of.
Those are the faces, and that dude is a dude, but he's way up there in the Pacific Northwest. He only has 1 year left, and his price tag is got to match. His play is going to demand a pretty heavy extension.
Yeah.
So
San Francisco is looking dead square at him. So
yeah, to put him.
Russell Wilson has a full no trade clause. He has 2 years left on his contract.
Yeah. So they'll have to work with him.
Right. They'll have to work with him, and they're going to want to accumulate, a lot. I mean, I could see
$19 million next year, 22 in 2023.
Yeah. So, and then, I mean, Jacksonville's open, obviously. I know Miami made a run, but you never know. You never know. Is it really good enough? Is it something that, like, because a lot of these GMs would be thinking, yeah, you played good down the stretch, but you started out 1-7. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we're not in the playoffs, and we were last year. So they're constantly, and they're doing, the thing is, this DP, GMs, colleges, it's all a copycat league. So whatever works for somebody else, they're going to try to get the same type of, coach, somewhere. And listen here, let's also not forget here. I know they're in the playoffs, and it's a very, very long shot. And considering that all the big college coaches spots are open, but within a year, I can see Arizona making a move. Both if it's mutually or, dude, hey, when you talk about going down the side of a mountain,
well, if they win this week,
they're fine. He's fine.
Right.
I don't envision it this year, but the pressure and the pressure and the expectations next year are going to be out of the roof. And the way that they're ending the last part of their season, they do not look good.
They do not end seasons good at all.
No, they looked not well coached. Nothing has gotten better. It's actually looked like it's gotten worse.
Didn't they get to like 8-0?
Well, yeah,
they were 10 and what?
I mean,
10 and
but
what?
They only lost the best receiver in football.
Well, yeah, sure.
Like young QB needs.
Oh, he needs that dude because that is the safety.
Right. So before we bury the kid.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the quarterback. No, I'm talking about the coach.
The coaching, all that's in play,
right.
And I think his response would be,
yeah, and we're still in the playoffs. But when you're fumbling punts, you're missing kicks, all that type of stuff. Defense doesn't look like it's all kind of meshing up. And the fact that they don't really try to run the ball, you know what I mean, is a little bit different. I mean, I doubt they would let him go this year, but and then the Raiders are open. What do you do? The coach that stepped in under adverse conditions, galvanized that team.
We don't know what they're going to do in Jacksonville.
Well, yeah, they got to do. Oh, yeah, I just already mentioned Jacksonville. You got the Raiders. What do you do there? There's going to be a lot of moving and shaking. It's not only what you got to look for is the coaches, but then also the GM. On a sneaky move, Kevin Colbert's leaving from Pittsburgh. Now they don't ever fire coaches, and Mike, I'm gonna tell you, Mike Tomlin. If I know Terry Bradshaw tried to come at him and say he needs to be a motivational speaker. Homeboy is one of the best coaches of all time.
Yeah,
and
we can stop. We can
and
stop
Pittsburgh are generally probably promote from within, for their GM. But does Mike Tomlin eventually just if it's sometimes if those two worked in such close together, the identity of that team and that franchise is there. If whoever is the GM, and
what about Cowher
as a GM,
yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah.
The Dolphins just fired Brian Flores.
Told you.
All right,
Jake,
let's throw the break.
Put an APB out on Jake.
We'll throw the break.
There he is.
No, we'll throw the break.
There he is.
We'll throw the break.
Hey, take a picture. Hey, you got to take a picture and tweet this out.
We'll throw the
Take a picture and tweet this out right here.
We'll throw it to break. When we come back, Jake Sorensen will join us. We will talk about what in the world is going on in Miami. This is Old School on 93.7 The Ticket.
Come here, man. You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years. and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's Downtown Spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the sidetrack band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P.
Have you been told your furnace has a cracked heat exchanger? Before you spend money needlessly, call Bryant for a free second opinion. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111.
If you're thinking about a new career, improving your job skills, or just continuing your love of lifelong learning, Southeast Community College's Spring Continuing Education Catalog is hitting your mailbox soon. It's chock full of options. Learn how to write a compelling grant application, become a pharmacy tech, or even learn to ride a motorcycle. We even provide the bike. Check out your catalog or go to southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to possible.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season, enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
What does better service mean? At Allo, it means that you get the best fiber internet available at prices that work for you. Better service means installers who show up on time. Better service means no billing shenanigans. Better service means a real person answers the phone. If you're not paying for better service, what are you paying for? Get Allo. Get better service. Switch today at allofiber.com/better service.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljob.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Back to old school with DP and J, presented by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese.
Welcome back. It's Black Monday.
Hello.
It's Black Monday, and
literally it is over here, right here.
Jake Sorensen.
You all right? Look at
you. Had no idea, right?
I heard a rumor. I chose to not agree with it because, you know, your head coach just swept the evil empire for the first time in 20 years. Won 8 of your last 9 games. Now, the 7-game losing streak sucked, but you know what? They had a chance at the playoffs after going 1-7. I have said many times on these airwaves, I'm 30 years old. I have been a lifelong fan of the Miami Dolphins. I will continue to be.
You're a Buffalo fan.
Lifelong fan.
You need to be a Buffalo fan.
This is the first time I can remember in my entire life I actually liked our head coach. I hated Adam Gase. I hated Dave. I despised Dave Wannstedt. Despised Joe Philbin. I like Tony Sperano because he was a nice guy, but he wasn't a great coach at the end of it. Cam Cameron went 1-15 in Miami. That guy was a bum. All these coaches sucked, and Brian Flores was a good coach. He could not beat the Bills. So Jay, you got him. You got us there. But he swept the Patriots.
That he did.
Tua was 3-0 against the Patriots. Tua.
Yeah, he was the first rookie quarterback to beat Bill Belichick in his first start against him.
So did Jay get Flores fired?
He mentioned
I don't know. The Bills have been a problem for the Dolphins. The thing is this: if they go back to that Titans game last week where they lose 34-3, You guys all know, like myself. I mean, every NFL team has a clunker out there, and the Dolphins had 7 straight of those, with losses to the Jags, lost to the Falcons, lost to the Raiders, bad losses. But when you've won 7 straight games, it's hard to win an 8th straight game on the road in bad weather. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's difficult, and they suck. They got killed in that game.
If they lose like 34-14, does he get fired?
I don't know.
The Dolphins or organization, and I grew up. I love Dan Marino. I always say he's one of the best of all time. It's amazing to me that you can make such a huge mistake at the head coaching. I mean, we just talked about quarterbacks in the crossover, right? That's it. You know what the next most important thing, or even probably ahead of the court, is the head coach.
Yeah.
And when you have a head coach that has the team going in the right direction, you fire him. And this isn't even like, this is something that was obviously in the works long before the end of the season, because they fired him on Monday. Like, it's not something that like they were trying to take away power, or he needed to fire a assistant. Maybe that was it. He needed to fire an offensive coach or something. But those are like conversations that take like 24 to 48 hours, maybe 72 hours to discuss, because the season just ended. He would be in today talking about it later on today.
They didn't get him to 24 hours.
Right.
They made the decision immediately.
That decision was last night over, Don Perignon and caviar by the powers that be. It's the dumbest thing ever. And it probably came down to the GM had the owner's ear pointing at the coach because of the beginning of the season for everything he did. He said he had to be.
Have been made before the game?
This is the problem with what you just said, Jay. The GM in Miami is a moron. Chris Greer should have been fired 10 years ago. He's not been the GM the whole time. Dennis Hickey was in there, and they had Rick Spielman before he was at the Vikings.
Yeah, Mike Tannenbaum.
Oh God,
emphasized on the bomb.
Yeah, you got to realize Chris Greer is a horrible GM. The Dolphins have the most cap space right now for next year in the NFL. They have a great defense,
right,
which Brian Flores was the captain of. And now I'll give you this: if you want to criticize Brian Flores, which you certainly can, he made really poor choices offensively. This is his third year. He fired his OC every single year. Chad O'Shea, the first year from the Patriots, fired. Chan Gailey was basically fired, pushed out after last year. And this year they were going to fire. They had 2 OCs. They had 2 guys calling plays because he's a defensive guy. Now, he's a great defensive coordinator, and I still think he's a great head coach, but he did have shortcomings with the way he handled the offense.
But they still scored points, though. And they found a way to be effective, though, right? If you can find a way to sweep the Patriots,
the defense,
it's not just the defense is so good. We're talking about him being a head coach. So he had to have professional athletes buy into whatever he was doing on offense, defense, and special teams in order to win.
This sounds like, well, I'm hearing reports. I'm getting a lot of people down in Miami telling me what
you got people down there?
I got sources.
You got people.
They think that here's what the rumor is right now, that they believe that Brian Flores might have been the only guy that wanted to keep Tua, and that this is a way for them to go after Deshaun Watson and say, we're not going to have Flores blackball this and say no.
I'm reading reports that Deshaun Watson only wanted to be in Miami because of Brian Flores.
Which is probably, I don't know. I mean, I told you, I'm depressed. I have never liked a head coach of my team.
This makes me happy.
And, I understand he had a 7-game skid. Bad things happened. It sucked. But they finished the season winning 8 of 9. They swept the jerks of New England.
Do you want to know a fun stat?
And now I'm here. I'm hearing from Jeff Darlington. Everyone thinks it's Jim Harbaugh. He's saying he's not the target.
No, but just
do you guys want to know a fun stat?
Who the hell are you gonna get?
No,
that's what I want to ask you.
I'm in panic mode.
Let me ask you this.
I'm getting over the idea of Jake's team being run by Jim Harbaugh.
Jake. Here's the best thing that happened to you, though. At least Jake, you're gonna probably have a bad case of bubble guts for the next 2 weeks. At least you don't have to have
really bad right now.
Eat that chip.
Do you want to eat the chip with me?
No, you still got to eat the chip.
Burn the sadness.
You're doing that chip for Brian Flores, not for me. That's for Brian Flores.
I'm fine with that. Brian Flores will be back in New England in 3 weeks.
Are you okay with Tua being your quarterback? Like, are you sold on him as whoever the new coach is?
I'm so torn, man. But I just know that the capital it's going to cost to get Deshaun Watson, if that's the goal, is just going to be crippling.
I don't know. I don't even know. Deshaun Watson's not worth that much.
Nobody is worth that much.
But if there's a team that's dumb enough to give it up, it's the Miami Dolphins.
Rico, you're so stupid.
What did he say now?
Here's a fun stat for you.
Rico is petty on 1,000
The
right now.
2021 Miami Dolphins are 9-0 against quarterbacks who have an O in their last name, and 0-8 against quarterbacks who don't have an O in their last name. So obviously, all you have to do is face quarterbacks with O's in their last name, and you would have won all your games.
Well, the deal, Brian Flores is a very hard-headed coach. He doesn't like being told what to do, which is why I like him. He's not a pushover. He's going to do things his way.
But he's the head coach. So why should he do it any other way?
Exactly. Because the GM wants to be
the coach,
the man in charge, and he is a moron. And Stephen Ross, as much money as he has and as much of a bigwig as he is, he's a terrible owner. He's a horrible owner.
But
this is getting on Dolan, James Dolan category.
That's too far. That's just playing.
I don't know. This feels like James Dolan. Got a Knicks fan in the building.
Jason Taylor hasn't tried to choke him out yet, like Charles Oakley did with Dolan. But I'm going to tell
not
you
that
this.
you know of. Not that you know of.
Maybe
it was deserved.
But here, let me say this though. He is a Michigan alum.
I know.
Ooh. And if you don't think that he's at least going to throw that line in the water and make it in, because he's part of Harbaugh's contract right now at Michigan. I mean, he's a big donor.
Jake, I'm sorry.
Jake,
DP, I'm not well. I just hope you know.
Sorry.
I might take a sick day after this.
Jake,
sorry.
I mean, you wouldn't want Harbaugh?
Jake doesn't like Harbaugh.
I'm not a big.
They wanted him before, kind of, right?
That's why I'm on DP's side. Seeing Jake try to root for Jim Harbaugh as his head coach.
Oh, you think he still wears khakis down there in 100-degree heat?
100%. It might be khaki shorts. He might just cut the khakis.
Yeah, right. Have the little frayed end too.
Your coach is gonna wear cleats on the sideline.
Can you imagine Harbaugh just bent over chewing that gum,
and he he probably got.
You want to know the real deal about this?
He got crack sweat too.
Guess who's just turned into the top candidate for every job out there? Brian Flores.
No, Brian Flores will be back in New England in 3 weeks.
No, he's going to be a head coach. No,
that's what happens.
No, Brian
every
Flores
time a
is
New
going
England
to be a
coach
head
gets
coach
fired as a head coach, they end up back in New England.
Brian Flores is going to be a head coach next season because he's a good head coach.
That is the surprise right now of the short season.
That's the only thing on Twitter is Brian Flores getting fired. They've had one winning season before he took over. He gets back to a winning season, and they're like, you know what? Don't like it.
Back twice.
Yeah, they're like, don't like it.
We're
not going in the right direction.
This winning feeling is wrong.
You're not winning the right way.
We're all.
You're not winning the right way. It's not cute enough.
Oh, and Chris Greer is going to stick around per Jeff Darlington because he deserves all the time in the world to have more terrible draft picks. And you know what? You want to hear about the best signing of this year in free agency? What it was? The Dolphins gave Will Fuller 1 year, $10 million to have 4 catches this year and play in 3 games. That man got $2.5 million per catch this season.
No. Washington.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, what was his money though? What was his money?
$10 million.
Oh, that's pretty bad
for 1 series.
What?
I love that guy though.
But you know what though? Let me tell you something. Ryan Fitzpatrick can actually play.
We like Fitzpatrick.
I love Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I mean,
that's my boy.
And he's usually pretty. He's been healthy.
I don't think Will Fuller has finished a season in the NFL.
He hasn't finished the season since he was drafted by Houston, #1 from Notre Dame.
All I'm saying is
the Dolphins will dolphin.
This is a low, dark day and many dark days.
Well, you should have known it was going to be bad when the Miami Dolphins, I think during COVID, they were having tailgating, but they was having strip clubs tailgating down there in Miami. You guys are just roguish down there.
How much money do you think Brian Flores spent of his contract last night after beating the Patriots?
I hope a lot of it. Hope he was.
Well, he's getting the rest of his contract.
No, it's all on the Dolphins credit card.
That's probably what he fired.
That's smart.
Surprise.
Yeah.
This is a terrible day to be a Miami Dolphins fan. After what was a great day yesterday.
We'll throw the break. Rico gets to rant, and then we'll laugh some more. It's going to be a long day. Black Monday is alive. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air's motto is our family serving yours. That starts with how we hire. We go through an extensive interview process to really get to know you and show you who we are. We want to help you build a great career, be challenged, have fun, and bring home an excellent weekly paycheck. We offer competitive wages with benefits, including a day off for your birthday. Apply to be a part of the John Henry's family at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air. Working at Continental of Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljob.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Need to send a message? Send it with cake. Congratulations. Here's a congratulations chocolate rum cake from Beatrice Bakery. Thank you. Say thank you with an amaretto cake. I'm sorry that I accidentally hit your mailbox with my car as I was backing out of the driveway and then continued right into your prized petunias. You say that with a lemon drop cake. Everybody knows that. Beatrice Bakery in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Here to help you say whatever it is you need to say. Welcome to our world of yum.
If you're thinking about a new career, improving your job skills, or just continuing your love of lifelong learning, Southeast Community College's Spring Continuing Education Catalog is hitting your mailbox soon. It's chock full of options. Learn how to write a compelling grant application, become a pharmacy tech, or even learn to ride a motorcycle. We even provide the bike. Check out your catalog or go to southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to possible.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years, and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's downtown spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the Sidetrack Band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Have you been told your furnace has a cracked heat exchanger? Before you spend money needlessly, call Bryant for a free second opinion. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A sunny and seasonably cool day for our Monday, topping out near 37. Winds will start the day out of the north at 10, but try to change out of the west by late this afternoon. Overnight clear with a low of 22. A nice bounce back in temps for our Tuesday. We should be mainly sunny, southwest winds 10 to 15, and an afternoon high of 52. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Warming up. Welcome back. Closing the hour. Rico gets the red.
What do you think? Like Larry Zonka and them. Larry Zonka lives up like a Montana or somewhere, right? He's
Yeah.
a fisherman. What do you think they're thinking? Like when he checks his internet, he's probably drinking some coffee or whatever. And he's like, man, you know what? We swept the Patriots, and then he's like, the next morning, all right, we just fired our coach.
19-14.
He's excited to go to the first game of next season and talk to Brian Flores, whatever. He's like, oh, wait a minute.
19-14. With a 1-7 run in that.
In the last 2 years.
Yeah. Rico, what are you ranting about?
I mean, I don't care about the Dolphins, but I'm going to rant about this statement that they put out and the fact that they fired Brian Flores, who, in the statement, was 24-25 in Miami in 3 seasons with the Dolphins, which is a pretty damn good record if you ask me. The statement reads as follows. I made a decision today to part ways with Brian Flores. After evaluating where we are as an organization and what we need going forward to improve, I determined that key dynamics of our football organization weren't functioning at a level I want it to be and felt that this decision was in the best interest of the Miami Dolphins. I believe we have a talented young roster in place and have the opportunity to be much better in 2022. I want to thank Brian for his hard work and wish him nothing but the best in his future. What?
Yeah.
You have a talented young roster that he built up, that he coached up, and you think that they have the opportunity to be better next season.
They've won 8 out of 9.
But you get rid of the guy who is leading them.
Yeah.
Who, as DP just said, won 8 out of 9 to end the season, was 1 game out of, a 500 record for, 3 seasons. If they didn't add an extra game this season, he might have had a 500 record for his 3 seasons in Miami.
Yeah.
And you decide to fire him?
Here's the crazy thing. And to win against the Patriots after you had a dismal performance the week before, when the playoffs picture looked absolutely was over. It's a throwaway game. We used to call those U-Haul games. You're not making the playoffs. Let's make sure we go out here and play not to get hurt. They go out there and play, and the Patriots have more. Patriots had a lot to play for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like that. They were going down there and trying to get through like a glorified scrimmage. The Patriots were playing for something.
They just stunk it up.
And the Dolphins went out and beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to tell me that now you're going to remove that guy from your organization. He's doing something right with that team. A young roster. And then that lets you know he's taking an inexperienced roster and getting these guys to compete after starting 1-7 and ending 9-8 and then winning their last game of the season. You think they're going into the offseason with a ton of positive vibes. You obviously got to get more explosive on offense and continue to add the right pieces on defense. And you're more than capable of being in the playoff picture and being obviously a superior, proponent next year, right? And now you remove that guy and you almost start over because whoever you bring in as, I guess, if they end up keeping the GM, the head coach, he's either got to be on board with what you're going to do with Tua because it all starts there. Yes, the defense is good, but you need either you like Tua or not. And then here you just drafting what 3, 2? When are you drafting him? What pick was he? What pick was Tua?
Oh, he was
3.
Yeah, it was because they moved up.
Yeah, he was number 3 pick just like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, because they picked him over Herbert.
Let me just.
So then now what do you do?
We're gonna find out.
You're pretty much starting over.
We're gonna find out.
Right.
Let's put a pin there because this upsets me that I don't get it, but we will change the script 9 o'clock hour because there's lots going on here in Lincoln that we need to talk about. So we'll get to Husker hoops, women's hoops. We'll get to the transfer portal. Yeah, there's lots to talk about here. We'll be right back on Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hard-working, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
Need to send a message? Send it with cake. Congratulations. Here's a congratulations chocolate rum cake from Beatrice Bakery. Thank you? Say thank you with an amaretto cake. I'm sorry that I accidentally hit your mailbox with my car as I was backing out of the driveway and then continued right into your prized petunias. You say that with a lemon drop cake. Everybody knows that. Beatrice Bakery in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Here to help you say whatever it is you need to say. Welcome to our world of yum.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
The likelihood that you're going to have a guy that's as talented or even a step up from what you shipped away in Adrian Martinez, right? That's slim. You're going to have to conform your offense, your game plan to this quarterback, and this quarterback and all those guys on that offensive side of the ball are going to have to buy in this season. And that's one thing, right, is that this coaching staff has to relay that message that there is no choice.
Yeah.
You're either bought in or we're going to do this thing without you.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years, and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's downtown spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the sidetrack band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air's motto is our family serving yours. That starts with how we hire. We go through an extensive interview process to really get to know you and show you who we are. We want to help you build a great career, be challenged, have fun, and bring home an excellent weekly paycheck. We offer competitive wages with benefits, including a day off for your birthday. Apply to be a part of the John Henry's family at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Have you been told your furnace has a cracked heat exchanger? Before you spend money needlessly, call Bryant for a free second opinion. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljob.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
I'm Jenny Benson, president of the NSEA, and I'm asking for your help. We know the best learning for our kids happens when they are in classrooms, in person, with their classmates and teachers. To help keep our public schools open for in-person learning, please follow health and safety guidelines from medical experts. Working together, our students continue to learn, grow, and thrive.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked up by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The bizarre world of sports, man.
Well,
there's always there's always somebody dumb in sports that are going to do dumb things to give you something to talk about.
Well, we try to you know that Black Monday exists, and you know that, okay, this is when change is made. And then you go to the teams that need the most help and figure that that's where that is. But those teams aren't necessarily firing folks. And I never root for a coach to get fired.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, period, point blank. Yeah. I just don't. Not for coaching. The stuff outside of coaching,
right? Yeah.
You can get fired for it. Yeah. But the news, like, this was a busy weekend. Today's the national championship, right? It's a national championship. You've got two heavyweights that are going to go, toe to toe, nose to nose. You got one of the most impressive crowds at PBA for women's basketball that anybody can recall, and a performance that deserves some talk.
Yeah,
you had a bad men's basketball performance for us to talk about. I got to go and watch men's wrestling Friday night. Thank Mark Manning for hooking it up. I was right there on the mat, and them some bad dudes.
Yeah,
like let me applaud.
Yeah, Mark Manning is got it going on.
Right, they had a tough night. They had 4 replacement wrestlers. I don't know if it was virus testing or otherwise, but I think that might have been. I don't want to speculate, but they had 4 replacements in, and that was the difference, because they end up losing to Purdue 18-15, basically because a couple of replacements got beat by majors. Got beat in majors. So instead of it just being a 3-point loss, it was a 4 or 5. But they battled. Like, Purdue's tough. I mean, they were top 25 anyway. They were tough,
right?
And I'm like, as much as credit as you want to give wrestlers, we don't give
them enough. Yeah,
we don't give them enough to starve yourself, stress yourself, work yourself, and then go out and do the one-on-one.
Yeah.
At full strength, full mass. It was,
and that is
all
competitiveness.
Yeah, right, that's a different, like, I can't give them enough credit.
Yeah.
And then after we left, Nebraska's news, like, it was a drip, and then the faucet opened up. So I'll ask you, who young Mr. Thompson is, and whether fans should be in the Kool-Aid or watching from a distance.
I mean, it's the off season. Everybody's kind of in the Kool-Aid, but from what I've seen, well, first of all, he comes with from good pedigree, obviously, from his dad, competitive kid, tough-minded kid. So that's what a leader. When you hear what his teammates said about him, not only this year but last year, he's a leader and he knows how to lead guys in the right direction. You get a guy with experience, and you get a guy with productivity. Throws a good deep ball. He's a quick decision maker, and he's had some big games, and he's really he's been really productive and can run when he needs to. So, look, it's when you go in the transfer portal, if you're not able to get, like, the Rattlers and all those guys, you're able to get a guy that you can watch tape and you can see it not only from this year but the year before. Probably watched him in high school. Probably, so you got a good evaluation of him. Obviously you met the kid, know what he's like personality wise. You did your research wise. So yeah, you should definitely be excited. I mean, when you lose a 4-year starter to, with the injured shoulder, and he's in the transfer portal, goes to Kansas State, and you can replace him with a guy that was Texas and led the Big 12, I think, in touchdowns. You definitely want to be you want to feel like you're lucky in the sense of that. So seems like they're not done, because I think the kid from Florida State still coming right on his visit. So if you get both of them, you're really sitting good because you got him, Smothers, Thompson, Purdy if he comes, and then you got Harburg as well. So you got some good depth there, good competition. And so I think it's a good thing. Then you see that they keep adding receivers. So the competition is starting to crank up. And then when you got the wide receiver coach saying that every one of his receivers will be involved on special teams, the time is now. The notice has been sent. The standard is set. It ain't changing. It is definitely cranked up to the – I always say it's time to crank this intensity up to the 15th power. It's definitely going to be a lot different, which is good. I always would tell the kids, don't fight it, embrace it, and everything will be good. So, yeah, I wouldn't say don't – I mean, look, at the end of the day, all the stuff in the offseason is great, but I can tell you this, it's a little bit more authentic now because the actions are meeting up with the words, right? So just, at the end of the day, they got a lot of work to do. I think they're hitting the gym today. So, this is the first brick in laying the foundation. It's going to be really unique to see what guys step up out there. Not only obviously in the offseason, it's probably a lot too many words, but with the actions and continuous actions when not everybody's watching. And that's how you build a team. And that's how you turn it around. And that's how you build the foundation through work, hard work, pushing each other. Football's a hard sport. You got to be coached hard. You got to play hard. You got to train hard. And you definitely got to play hard. And then that's how you hopefully be able to, eke out some close games and turn your record around or get a winning record, get to a bowl game. Because it can't be, all right, we just need to, win 5. Nah, man, we need to do more than that. And it starts today.
Rico, as a fan, where do you stand with Thompson's addition?
I was extremely excited for Thompson. He was one of, if not the quarterback that I wanted out of the transfer portal if they decided to go into the transfer portal, which we kind of figured they were going to. I was looking up highlights of his before, the commitment, when it was first announced that Nebraska had some type of interest in him, and the guy can sling it. He can make all the throws you want. He can't, I saw people were worried, he only had 150 some rushing yards last season. If he can't, escape the pocket, he's going to be in a lot of trouble because, Nebraska's offensive line can't block, blah, blah, blah. First off, they got a new offensive line coach. The offensive line is going to be revamped. Hopefully it's better than it was last year. Second, the guy can run. He can move. He can move in the pocket. He chooses not to run outside of the pocket
Charles
and make
baby boy. Of course
he chooses not to do. He had 4 rushing touchdowns. He can run. He just chooses not to. He wants to stay in the pocket and make the throws and get the ball to his playmakers.
Here's where those fans or pundits skipped over the big thing. Texas actually had a running back in a running game, a conventional. They had run. I mean, so he didn't have to run.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's like asking Troy. Well, Troy Aikman didn't run. Well, you got Emmett, and you got this. I mean, so look, they got to continue to build around them. I think that something to be they're addressing some major needs. They did it, obviously through new coaches. They still got to, I guess, decide on running back, special teams coach. I mean, this is not over. This is just it's a big part, but it's still just a part of the whole thing that you got to put back together and get it tied up and then move forward with the vision of doing what you need to do. So look, the challenge is there. And everybody's focusing on the quarterback because we just talked about that. You need a quarterback that's definitely a winning type of quarterback to be successful in football, but let alone the Big Ten. But, like I said before, the defensive guys, look, man, you guys played good. Not great. You played good. There's a ton of tape that you can watch, both more positive than negatives, but there's a lot of improvement that can be there. So because there can't be any fall off. Nobody, when you go and play, when you go over to Ireland and you play, they don't care that JoJo Doman's gone. They don't care that Cam Taylor-Britt's gone. They don't care. They don't care Deontay Williams is gone. Whoever's out there, you're going to be treated as such, and you better be playing as such or to that standard or better. And there can't be flat out no excuses.
From the text line, QB does you no good without an O-line. Where do we stand?
I hope the offensive line is improved. Like I said, they got a new offensive line coach
How do you feel about the offense?
How do I feel?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say that I feel good. I can't say that I feel bad.
It's what it should be, but I mean, like I said, I keep saying I have a ton of confidence that it'll be better because first of all, it can't get any worse. Okay? But
I mean, you're not wrong, but I feel like it. But I feel like it could.
I mean, I guess it could.
Yeah,
I mean, in theory, but
it could just all fall down.
But at the end of the day, I think, and like I said, I'm gonna say this: Greg Austin's a good coach. The guys playing didn't play well enough while he was coaching. 1 through 5.
Okay.
That's the honest to God truth. They did not go out and execute the plays that were called, the techniques that were called to the standard enough. The way he was coaching, it wasn't a lack.
Was
of
it the coaching? Was it level of talent? Was it inability to?
I mean,
execute?
sure, it's a little bit about it, but inability. I mean, if I got to block Rico, okay, and I go over here and block this board over here, that has nothing to do with coaching.
Doesn't it?
No. If that play is going right and you're the only dude going left,
if you're given the option,
well, I feel like there's a point. Like I know I've said this.
How do you not know that you need to block Rico?
Well, you do. You just didn't. I've said this before, and you took exception to it.
How many whiffs have you seen? Just go back to when Adrian was on the 2-point play against Purdue.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Well, you and I talked about. No, you and I talked. We literally
that dude is going
about,
top 5 in the draft. How does he take the ball and you completely miss? That's not coaching. That's not even. And then if you go so. Now look, Coach.
How do you have a guy for 18 months and he doesn't know who to block?
He knows.
He knows.
Okay, so
if you ask him, he knows.
Okay, so
were you tired? Were you scared, or did you not want to? That's what you ask him. Don't ask the coach, dude. I'm telling you.
Then why put him out there?
You don't believe.
Was he the best? Was he the best option?
Well, that's what you got to ask the Coach Austin. But now we're on. Now we're moving.
Okay.
In the present day. Okay, what I'm saying is I just don't want to, when I'm talking about Coach Donovan, I don't want to disrespect Coach Austin because I seen what he was trying to do and I saw guys doing it. And I would say like this, man, some of these guys were just way too comfortable with being average. Way too comfortable. And the reason why is just part of the way it is. You come here, you get treated like you're a king, and you do average things to get treated king treatment.
Is Donovan going to change that? Can he change that?
Oh, yeah. It will change. And the offensive line is easier. Now I want to say this because then it'd be like, oh, well, you're putting expectations too high. When you change the the standard, the way you go about your business, there is a line drawn. Okay. Coach, player. Okay. I love you, but I love you enough that I'm gonna coach you as hard as heck. My expectation is gonna be higher for you than you are for yourself. Your offensive line can turn around pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's just like you can't put guys out there who constantly can't make them, don't know.
I don't know why you're trying to tiptoe around the offensive line when last week you said that offensive line is not that hard to play.
I just said that.
I know.
I don't think it's that hard to play, but you got to want to play it. At some point in time, I know everybody. I mean, the fashionable thing is if a guy's not performing, you want to blame the coach. But where is it like if we're all three out here, right? Say Rico's the center, we're on the right side of the line or left side of the line. You're the guard and I'm the tackle. Okay. When is it ever going to be like I'm tired? Okay, my shoulder might be a little sore or my back tight, but we're in a game and it's hot or we got to go win. I am going to do whatever I need to do not to let you down, and the 150 other guys that are out there.
But if you and I agree that you're gonna take one jab step and then go get Rico's closest shoulder, and then you decide to take a jab step and then go straight to the bulletin board, I can't trust you and I won't put you out there.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
right. And
if I think the depth, there's some young guys that are going to make some noise that were there. And then the new guys, the competition is going to look, man, I'll dance around this the best as possible. Okay?
Well, that's why I'm keep
Co-
staying
yeah,
right
because-
here.
Put on your
because-
ballet.
because-
Put on your ballet
because-
shoes.
This is why I'm
well,
staying
because-
right here.
Because competition, true competition eliminates that.
Right.
I was going to ask,
End
when
of
does
discussion.
like the trust outweigh, or not? When does the talent outweigh the trust? Because that's what it seemed like. Where like you just said, you do something wrong. How can I trust you? But what if you're just that much better than the person behind you?
Then that's on whoever's responsible for putting somebody behind him. Like if the cupboard is bare, you're responsible for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but at this point, there's not a lot of teams. I mean, you saw with Ohio State when their offensive line was struggling against Michigan. They got destroyed when they had to shuffle guys around.
Yeah.
So finding guys isn't as readily possible or easy as it
Well,
seems.
the transfer portal is. I thought everybody's answer is in the transfer portal.
Well, you got to
Now,
find. You got
this
to
year
find
it
the
is.
answer and bring the answer in. The answer has to agree.
I
to
mean,
play
the
for you.
transfer portal is not
Okay.
the answer. It's the
Okay.
vortex of hope and wishes.
Yeah.
It's like JUCO.
Yeah, I being sarcastic. It's craziness. So, but through this, so now you have another piece of talent that is at the level you kind of think you want to be. You may have maxed out from what was available in getting Thompson here. Then there's movement in the receiver room, and I'll ask you, Jay, from what you know, what do these additions bring to the table?
Well, I mean, the guys that
Trey's a speed guy.
Yeah, they got speed. You got guys that have been coached by Coach Joseph before, so they can set they're going to set the table here. Okay, so they're going to be the first at the table. They're going to have the plates all set, and you're going to know what the standard is, and they're going to be, and they trust him. When you see the dad was talking, or one of the dads were talking about that, my son trusts him. That means a lot in this day and age, and so these guys coming in. It's what he's used to seeing. He knows what they can do. They're going to be competitive. By no means, I'm assuming, them leaving LSU, they're not like OBJ and Jefferson and all them right now, but they're going to come in and they're going to push guys. And that doesn't mean that the guys that are here aren't going to get a fair chance. He's used to having this many numbers in his wide receiver room, and he's developing them all. And then they're going to continue to push each other in there, but then the best ones are going to play. Just because they're coming here doesn't mean that they're coming to Nebraska and this guy's, handed a starting spot. They know that because they weren't starting at LSU. So it's definitely addition. It's definitely guys that are willing to play football. I mean, you heard him when he said these guys are going to be playing special teams. So these guys coming in that had obviously been with them, they know they're going to be gunning down there on punt team. They're going to be running down on kickoff. They're going to be jammers on punt return. So when you talk about like what else, what do these new coaches bring? They bring a different standard. It's more in your face. Okay. That's the way you coach football. Just because you're in your face type of coach doesn't mean that you're always on them. But you're not going to be able to just, oh man, my wrist hurts today. I'm probably not gonna. I'm gonna sit out this drill. Okay, well, you sitting out that drill, you could be Wally Pipp or whatever, and the next thing you don't play, and because the competition between us three, say we're in there, is going to make guys push through it. It's no different than when I was playing. Like you would play through some stuff because you didn't want anybody to steal reps, but then also, you know what you're doing? You're developing mental toughness, learning how to push through hard times.
But why wasn't that done?
I don't know. You need to ask your neighbor.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is. I mean, that's just that's just the way it is. And they got a lot of young talent that was already here. Not a lot, but there's some guys. There's 3 guys that were really impressive. You got guys that are already here that played some and did some stuff last year, especially Omar Manning had a good season for him. Need more out of bets than you adding these guys. You got my man Dakotas. I think he's already here. Dakotas to ever do it.
I wonder how he's feeling about Dakotas weather right now.
Oh, but Dakotas is coming in with swag. He's always running on hot. So you got those type of dudes, and you're bringing in more competition. So you got to go play. I mean, this is what it's about, man. This is football is not.
I'm all for more talent in the space. I'm all for change of voices.
Sure.
Because those voices, they deliver different messages, and they're received differently. I just end up being curious why it wasn't that way before. That's
well, they weren't here before. I mean, you got to change. I mean, I guess obviously, you got to, what do they call it, pivoting or whatever. You got to. I mean, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. It might not have worked with the guys before.
Yeah. Your eyes are good, and so what you see matters. So if you tell me that there's a difference in philosophy, there's a difference in message delivery.
Because we'd be having a different conversation if nothing had happened. Then everybody would be quite, well, why haven't you changed it, right? So and it's not such a wholesale change to where, like, when you go from Bo Pelini to Mike Riley, it's like, okay, well, you hire, Coach Whipple, who has head coaching experience, NFL Super Bowl experience, and obviously has present day experience of developing a first round quarterback. Then you get a quarterback in the transfer portal. So everything that you're looking at that were very, very big eyesores, eventually that everything needed to be evaluated to get to the next level, they're trying to remedy. And then the voices are different, and you're able to get guys, especially with, Coach Joseph is, you can, I think it's a lot of times you get the it's hard to get the trifecta, right? Guy that can coach, develop, and recruit in this day and age. You know what I mean?
It looks different.
It'll definitely, it sounds different, and definitely we're going to be different because look, these coaches they got families. They're not going to come here and be like, all right, we're going to come in Cadillac. Right? I mean, why would Coach Joseph come up here and change the way that he does things? Why would Coach Donovan Raiola come up here and do something there? Why would Coach Whipple come all the way here from Pittsburgh? Because I'm sure he could have probably hung around and got a head coaching job somewhere. Mm-hmm. It might not have been a Power 5. He could have went somewhere and got a couple $1 million and probably been a head coach somewhere. So he's coming here with the opportunity and knowing they didn't get hired to come here and change. They came here to I'm assuming, to add to it. And knowing that they needed this type of addition. It wasn't just Coach Whipple coaching Pickett. It wasn't just Coach Joseph coaching all those receivers. It's more to it than that. Coaching was a big part of it, obviously, because that's, you kind of evaluate off who you coach, but what you bring into the table. Because I can guarantee you, if I'm a defensive player, right, say like I was on there and I was kind of slacking or whatever, you think Coach Joseph ain't going to be like, dog, do you know who I saw him playing on defense? Jamal Adams and all these other guys? What do you think you're doing? So that's what you need. It's almost like, like when we were growing up, you go over a friend's house back in the day, you mess around, you could definitely catch a whooping by somebody else's. So
pass it along.
But ultimately, the players have got to band together. And I always say there could be addition by subtraction from last year and being a better football team. Team. Team.
Me.
No. No. Hey, you want to hear a funny story about no I in team? No I in team?
Me.
Hey, we were struggling. Hey, we were up in Buffalo. We had lost like 2 games, you know what I mean? And we weren't playing well. And, Coach Phillips was up there talking. He kind of say, hey, there's no I in team. Kevin Williams played for the Hurricanes, and he was a returner with Dallas back in the day and, won all those Super Bowls, right? And he stands up. He's like, there's an M and M-E. It might not be spelled that way, but there's an M and there's an E. You better start taking care of me before you start thinking about something. I was like, hey, everybody was like, man, sit down. That didn't even sound right. But
those dudes exist.
But the premise of it, start handling your business personally for the betterment of the team. You know what I'm saying?
I like the changes that are made, and I'm impressed by the talent that's coming in the door. I just want to put it in perspective. Like, I want to hear.
Yeah, everybody's talented. Everybody's coaching better. But at the end of the day, we got to be harder.
Okay.
We got to play with some more edge.
Okay. We'll go.
You know what I mean? We got to poke somebody's eyes out.
Look at you. You going to go to the ankle bite next?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm Bubba. hey, I'm Bubba Baker. Remember when Bubba Baker hit the dude on Thanksgiving Day? Hit him with a boop.
Yeah.
Okay, branded spikes.
Right. Like, yeah, it's a little too much. All right. We'll talk ladies hoops when we come back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
The likelihood that you're going to have a guy that's as talented or even a step up from what you shipped away in Adrian Martinez, right? That's slim. You're going to have to conform your offense, your game plan to this quarterback, and this quarterback and all those guys on that offensive side of the ball are going to have to buy in this season. And that's one thing, right, is that this coaching staff has to relay that message that there is no choice.
Yeah.
You're either bought in or we're going to do this thing without you.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
When it's really cold and your furnace goes out, the last thing you need is somebody who just wants a piece of your checkbook. Several families were told they had a cracked heat exchanger and needed a new furnace. Fortunately, they called Bryant for a second opinion. Many were found to only need minor repairs. Anytime you need furnace repair, call the experts at Bryant first. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
If you're thinking about a new career, improving your job skills, or just continuing your love of lifelong learning, Southeast Community College's Spring Continuing Education Catalog is hitting your mailbox soon. It's chock full of options. Learn how to write a compelling grant application, become a pharmacy tech, or even learn to ride a motorcycle. We even provide the bike. Check out your catalog or go to southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to possible.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
A sunny and seasonably cool day for our Monday, topping out near 37. Winds will start the day out of the north at 10, but try to change out of the west by late this afternoon. Overnight clear with a low of 22. A nice bounce back in temps for our Tuesday. We should be mainly sunny, southwest winds 10 to 15, and an afternoon high of 52. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Parents, if you've been waiting for FDA approval to get your teen vaccinated, the time is now. The FDA has approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for use in preventing COVID-19. While this is the first vaccine to gain FDA approval, all COVID-19 vaccines have been proven to be effective against the coronavirus. Want to reduce your teen's risk of hospitalization while protecting yourself and your community? Get your teen vaccinated today. Visit vaccinate.ne.gov to get started.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today, with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Starting the right career is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. You want to enjoy your career, be challenged, have fun, earn a great weekly paycheck, and work for a great company. If you're looking for a career change or right out of high school, the John Henry's Plumbing Apprentice Program may be the perfect answer. You'll get paid while getting hands-on training. We focus on your skills while you engage in real-world learning. Why not join the John Henry's team today? Apply at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Tonight is the national championship. We will be live at the Upside Bar and Lounge. Jake Sorensen and Nicole Griffin will be there from 6 to 8. 27th Pine Lake National Championship game between Georgia and Alabama. Taco night, 50-cent hard shell tacos, $1 for the soft shell, and then $3 for the house-made margaritas. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal and a pretty good night's work. Yeah, I think at some point today, I think in your show, Rico, we're in the happy hour. We're going to move the Upside Bar and Lounge giveaway and put that in that space. So
Okay.
you guys and Nick will have to find a way to give away a $15 gift certificate.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, and we might throw another certificate in there.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we might be able to do that. So, and then we will have the gymnastics show, the Talking Tens from 8 to 9. Deep dive from 9 to 10 with the swim and diving team. The gymnasts went to Iowa State and got a win. Got a win Friday night. Our own Kenzie Roby won. She had the best performance on the beam, I believe. And I think she did pretty well all around as well. So we'll break both of those down tonight. We'll have those for you. Wednesday, 6 to 7, teammates mentoring. Of course, everybody knows the great work that Coach Osborne and his wife have done over decades. We're going to have a constant conversation, a weekly conversation about mentoring, the value of it, mentors, mentorees, and some of the stories that make this thing what it is. And so I'm looking forward to being able to bring that to you on Wednesday. And then, oh yeah. So we were talking men's basketball this weekend, and I put out the question: would listeners be interested in a women's basketball postgame show? So the response Saturday was pretty overwhelming. Yes. I'll ask it again today if you guys are interested in us doing a women's basketball postgame show. I know that next year for women's volleyball, we're going to have volleyball postgame shows. Like, that's going to happen. But I want to know if the rest of the way, if you want us to do that. And if so, we can kick that off Thursday evening as the Huskers play. They play at 5:30, so somewhere around 7:30 we would have a postgame show. But let us know on the text line or call in, and we can do that. Jay, did you get a chance to see the ladies play yesterday?
I did. It was, not in person, but watched it. But it was a great. I like watching women's basketball.
Yeah.
I definitely like watching this team. It was a good, entertaining game. Boy, I was top heavy, boy, where they got three horses that can go. And when you got, hit someone with 31, 25, and 23, that's a lot. That's three big pieces that come out and are cooking on the road against obviously two well-coached teams. It was a battle.
Mm-hmm.
I think the big separator was Iowa going 11-19 for threes, and Nebraska is struggling from their three-point game. And there was a couple calls that were suspect that are momentum calls that if you have those back, it kind of can change the outcome of the game, because when you got, what was the score, 95-86? I think you got it over there, Rico. Is it 95-86?
Yeah.
This is a men's tip sheet. I don't know.
95-86 or around there. It's a game of runs, right? And the great thing about it, yes, I would like to see Nebraska win, but one thing that I like that Nebraska knew Iowa wasn't going anywhere. Iowa knew Nebraska wasn't going anywhere. It was just Iowa's day, and Iowa got real hot, especially with that three-headed monster that they got. But I'm going to be real interested to see when they link up again, because I think Nebraska does a really good job of adjusting.
I believe it's next week.
Yeah, adjusting, and I think hopefully they'll be a little bit healthier. They got a couple of integral parts of their depth that's out, because their depth can wear down, any team.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't have all that, that's kind of like a a big missing piece. But
it's this coming Sunday.
This coming Sunday.
Good. And it's something that, what is good. It's just no different than after the Michigan State game. You got to come back and battle. You got to come back after this game. You're not going to be able to go 30-0 in the Big Ten. It's too much good basketball, too many good coaches, too many good players. And Iowa has a great player. And it's good for Nebraska to see that, then be able to go back and adjust, work. And I will say this. I was thinking about this going into the game. Nebraska had such good momentum. I wish the game was earlier than Sunday, because sometimes how it is. You can, like when you're playing in a rhythm, you want to get that game, within your body clock every 2 or 3 days.
That would have been a great Saturday night game.
That's what I was thinking. Even a day before. Now, granted,
well, hopefully they can build off. They have number 6 Indiana on Thursday, and then they have Iowa on Sunday.
Right, it's good competition, or it's great competition. That's the great thing about the Big Ten. There's no day off. There's no game off with coaching. There's no game off. There's nothing off. There's no practice off. There's no meeting off. There's nothing as far as the playing wise. And it's a grind. And I think this team is well built to get through it and to get better through it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to meet every challenge. You're not going to be able to win every game. They're going to compete in every game. And so they're going to win more games than, say, like a couple years ago. And so I think it was a good game. I think Nebraska, if they could do something maybe a little bit different, try to be maybe physical, I'm a big believer if you have the type of team Nebraska has when healthy, the depth. If I know we got 3 horses coming in and we got 1 lead horse, right? So you kind of say, okay, we're going to try to shut the lead horse down and make everybody else win, or can we pluck off one of the 3? You know what I mean?
They didn't plan on Warnock being one of the 3.
McKenna, Warnock. And it was okay.
But
I understand, she was hitting shots, but the first 4 threes were wide open. And then she got in a rhythm after that. And she just wasn't missing anything.
Well, once you've seen it go down, the stat sheet was so remarkable. So again, this team, they were 37 of 60 from the field.
Right. So that's off the chart.
Right.
They were shooting 68% at the end of the first half.
They took 60 shots. Give me a guess on how many shots Nebraska took.
Wasn't that many? Was it?
Well, they got like a million. It was. They got like a million offensive rebounds.
Nebraska outshot them. They took 83 shots to Iowa's 6. Here's how. Nebraska had 23 offensive rebounds.
Jazz Shelley would, every time a shot went up, Jazz Shelley would run from the 3-point line into the paint, just jump around somebody, grab it, and dribble back out and set the offense back up.
Yeah. It was weird. So here's the other thing. So Caitlyn Clark, of course, she's one of the 5 best players in the country.
Right.
And
I didn't know she was only a sophomore.
Yeah.
Everybody talked about the girl from UConn, but she was doing work last year.
That's gonna be really
off the
annoying
radar.
for the next
so
2 years.
with her 31 points, but the 12 assists to go with,
right?
And they were
8 rebounds.
Nice assists.
They were crucial too, because down the stretch with her, she that no look to the big girl.
That was
a dagger. But here's to Nebraska's credit, they locked her up at 7 turnovers.
Right.
They were in her head for a little bit.
Right. Like if this thing was competitive,
But
and
she's so quick with the ball. She gets around people so easily.
She's a baller. She's a bit obnoxious, but hey, I'm not mad at that. Nebraska's not going to shoot.
Look, they
were 9 of 34 from 3,
right,
and 33 of 83 from the field.
Yeah.
They took 83 shots.
They were just missing some shots.
It was just one of those.
Oh, it was a lot of in and out.
There was.
Yeah, it was one of those nights. It was an off-brand night, but the thing that you can take a positive out of it is the game was already. It was a game all the way to the end, and I guarantee you, yes, they weren't thinking like Warlock was going to go off, but you got to adjust, right? And then Caitlyn Smith's going to come in cooking, right? Every game. Okay, let's just make sure we can try to simmer her down. But if somebody starts off like that, maybe we adjust and really try to pluck her off and try to take her out of the game. But I think it's just one of those things that, with all that being said about those 3, Nebraska, it's going to be hard to have them have another game where they miss 25 threes. They're too good of a shooting team.
They started trapping her later in the game off of screens, but that's when she just started dropping dimes. She was just look everywhere.
Give her the credit that for being a superstar player, she's not so selfish that she's not going to help everybody else or not make the right play, because she knows eventually she makes the right play enough, she's going to be getting hers.
The advantage that I see for Nebraska as this thing happens, those young players like Markowski and Allison Widener, who comes off the bench and gives you minutes, even though they're young,
they're growing up.
They're growing up
fast,
real quick, right?
fast.
Like they're in the deep water already,
Yeah.
and figuring out. Widener was again, they matched her up against Clark a couple of times. You went.
She held her own for a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Well, again, you want
the confidence that you can get that you get from
the
confidence that you get from positive plays that when you can go back and watch film, say, okay, I did this well. This is where I really made a big mistake. Okay, because when you're in the moment, you can't evaluate, 2 possessions ago. Now you can really see it after being in it and the excitement of the crowd, and finally getting the respect. You've been waiting to get ranked, and here's a huge crowd. Coach asked for it. We're here. The atmosphere. Now, as you continue to go along, now it's when they show up, it's not that big a deal. They're going to expect it, and they're going to play a lot different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they should be excited, and it's also good from a coach. Granted, every coach wants to win, right? But you're constantly going to be able to have their attention because you're never going to be able to arrive in the Big Ten. But these are constant challenges with a mix of older players, new players, and young players, to where they're in the meeting room and they're all still they're all getting better because they're all working for one goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the great thing about this team. They just want to win.
Yeah, and we'll find out here shortly what Bella Craven's status is. They battle without her, but they're a better team with her there. So we'll find that out for you and report the news. I won't speculate. I'll ask. Rico, it's your question. I know you went deep into your bag.
I'm sure he did.
You went.
You got a Dolphin question?
Bag.
I don't. I thought about it. It's a national championship question.
Yeah,
it's not that deep.
Okay, you went to your bag. Rico's question is next, and we'll close out Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Great Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Great Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Parents, if you've been waiting for FDA approval to get your teen vaccinated, the time is now. The FDA has approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for use in preventing COVID-19. While this is the first vaccine to gain FDA approval, all COVID-19 vaccines have been proven to be effective against the coronavirus. Want to reduce your teen's risk of hospitalization while protecting yourself and your community? Get your teen vaccinated today. Visit vaccinate.ne.gov to get started.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
When it's really cold and your furnace goes out, the last thing you need is somebody who just wants a piece of your checkbook. Several families were told they had a cracked heat exchanger and needed a new furnace. Fortunately, they called Bryant for a second opinion. Many were found to only need minor repairs. Anytime you need furnace repair, call the experts at Bryant first. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
What does better service mean? At Allo, it means that you get the best fiber internet available at prices that work for you. Better service means installers who show up on time. Better service means no billing shenanigans. Better service means a real person answers the phone. If you're not paying for better service, what are you paying for? Get Allo. Get better service. Switch today at allofiber.com/better service.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
Working at Continental of Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Final segment of old school. This is where Rico goes into his bag of questions.
If anybody has some questions that's off the chart, is Rico. Let's hear it.
All right, Rico.
All right. So the college football championship is today.
Yep.
Outside of the usual suspects, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and I guess LSU. Who was the national champion outside? Who was the last national champion that wasn't those four schools?
Clemson, Ohio State,
LSU, Alabama.
Auburn?
Cam.
No, that was in 2010.
Did Oregon win?
No.
Nope, they were in it. 2014.
Hold on.
This is a forgotten one. A pretty good game, though.
Florida?
Nope, that was in 2008.
Tebow and then we're gone.
I actually didn't think this one was going to be that hard.
It had to be somebody.
Not A&M.
Nope.
Not, you think SEC.
It is not an SEC school.
So it's not SEC, and it's not Big Ten.
Nope.
It is not.
It's an ACC school?
Mm-hmm.
So and it's not Clemson.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's Florida State with Jameis.
2013.
Yeah,
Yep. Florida State, Auburn.
Jameis. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. I wrote that off.
That's when he said, "Hey, that's when he said."
I wrote that off.
That's what he said. That's what he said when he went on that drive. He looked at it. He said, "You feeling strong?" I went, "No, we strong then. We strong then."
I don't care what anybody says about Jameis. The man
is hype man 24/7.
We go eat it.
When they were on Hard Knocks, I just kept going. I understand now. Like I understand why he got them to follow.
Yeah.
And I understand why they couldn't follow him.
Right.
Like
it takes.
I just love that video of him just like, we're gonna eat this W.
Hey, he said,
and everybody's just looking at him like, what the hell,
but hey, imagine being in that huddle and you there to try to win a national championship. and he looks at you and he says, DP, how you feeling? You feeling strong? Well, then we strong then.
Is you strong? Then we strong then.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? Give him his props. He play if he didn't get hurt, Saints are well into the playoffs.
What do you mean? Taysom Hill wasn't the answer?
So he got a little boo-boo yesterday.
Ouch. You see Taysom wasn't the answer?
I don't know what Taysom did. I don't know what Taysom got on people, man.
Trevor Siemian was the answer, right?
That's another team that I don't understand. Like I didn't understand.
How do you just not have a backup quarterback?
I didn't
because for whatever reason, Taysom Hill was that guy when Drew Brees, and they must have made Drew Brees so mad that he didn't come out of like the booth to make a quick like Jay Cutler did.
Right.
To make a quick. Oh, all right, honey. Hey, look, what are you gonna do? Be on TV? Was he probably maybe getting 3 or 4? Probably be on TV.
3 million.
Probably.
Okay, you could probably make that in like whatever 8 games, more than that. I'm sure they would have paid him $15 million to come back and do it.
He's just like,
nah. You kind of have to figure that they did not want Drew Brees to feel threatened by the backup.
Yeah, but then
or not bothered by the backup.
But he had to be bothered when Drew Brees would drive him all the way down there, and they would have Drew Brees out there at receiver, and Taysom Hill would running in. And then they give him that contract.
Brees said he didn't mind that.
Well, he said it, but as a competitor,
yeah,
you know how many,
you want to score.
You know how many touchdowns Drew Brees and thrown from like 1 yard, and you're gonna bring this dude in. Now you stuck with him, and now you want me to come out of the booth. Then he sent him a picture while he was on the golf course. Like, nah, man, y'all had y'all chance. Now you live with him.
That's a lot of money they gave, dude.
Yeah, over. They gave it to him and then doubled down on it. This is no different than what they did with Kirk Cousins. Okay, if Kirk Cousins fooled you coming from Washington, I'm not gonna do it again.
They knew what he was coming from Washington.
Okay, but if you just somehow bamboozle somebody there, so Rick Spielman got fired because when they needed a quarterback, he got so desperate that he drafted Christian Ponder at number 12.
Well, remember they had Teddy.
Teddy got hurt,
right?
Which
but
his was a non-contact, so that was even worse.
But they could have just stayed in that lane.
They could have, because he came back to play, but they had already kind of turned the page on Teddy. But he started off drafting Christian Ponder, then actually made a good pick in Teddy.
Yeah.
And then just say, okay, you got hurt and you're not explosive enough. Then we're gonna go get the dude from Washington. Well, at that time the Redskins are the Washington football team.
Well, because they just won a conference, and
but
he had showed out.
He had never won to beat a winning team, though, right?
No, he'd be a winning team because they had a good run with the crew that they had, Albert Morris and that crew.
Yeah.
So
they were okay.
So I understood that. I thought Washington was giving them too much money. Minnesota gave them more than Washington.
No, Kirk Cousins played that franchise thing to the utmost. And who was it? Allen was the GM.
Yeah.
How you give? That's another thing. You give this dude $60 million to play on 1 year. Then you said, you know what? We just gave you $60. Now you just figuring out he can't play. Like once you already give him $60 million, you might as well give him another $100.
He was somebody that they wanted to hang out with, and they paid him for it. And now
he was drafted in the same draft as RG3 to be the backup.
Now they're all paying for it, and none of them dudes are around. They ruined the franchise, and none of them are around.
They'll be back though.
Yeah, of course. Stay tuned. 1-on-1, we'll go. Wait, who's your pick, real quick tonight?
Bama.
Alabama, Georgia, Bama. Rico,
Georgia.
Okay. Talk to you guys.
When it's really cold and your furnace goes out, the last thing you need is somebody who just wants a piece of your checkbook. Several families were told they had a cracked heat exchanger and